I asked you guys some questions on Instagram, or I asked you 4 questions on Instagram, and we got a bunch of them. So what I'm thinking is we can go through the questions that are there, and we can also just answer any questions you guys have live, depending on how many people we get joining, how many questions we get. I hope you're having an amazing Wednesday, middle of the day, middle of the week slump, hopefully not a slump. Let me just get this pulled up on my screen so I can see all of our chats. Hey, Carrie, welcome. I want to be able to make sure I can see all of the things. Okay, amazing. Are we good? Yes. Okay, awesome. Okay, I can see you, Carrie. I can see other people. All right. So, you guys, thanks for coming. Let me see. I'm pulling up all the questions, and feel free to ask anything on these lives. Honestly, it's just like a community hang. I brought a matcha. You guys know me. It's not a live Q&A if I'm not drinking a matcha latte with you guys. And typically I answer questions that you sent in, or if you have questions live, it's better live because then you're right here and I can answer your question right away. And as far as what I typically am asked, I'm asked a lot of questions about fat loss for short women. That's kind of my thing. We go through nutrition, and we go through, you guys already know the drill, like anything having to do with food or macros or intuitive eating, strength training, meal ideas. We do a lot of mindset stuff too. And then also, you guys know a little bit, I mean, you know, a lot of it about my life too. And if you have any questions about like my recent move from New York City to Austin, or like whatever, I'm down for the personal questions too. You guys know I'm an open book. So if anyone has any questions live, also feel free to say hi. I see a bunch of you guys watching right now. It's always really nice to be able to like interact with you guys and see who actually comes to my live streams. I recognize some faces in the community. Okay, there we go. Hi, Moon Pie. Welcome. My skincare routine, probably not what all of you guys are wondering, but I started using retinol. I use tretinoin. It's a prescription. I started using retinols a year ago, and they really help change the texture, and a moisturizer as well. And that's really it. Hey, Ashley. Hi, Katie from South Africa. That's freaking incredible that you're from all the way over there. Hey, Caitlin, OG and Petite Bar Premium, actually, welcome. So let's start off with some questions. It's such a mix of questions. I honestly don't know where to start. That's why I'm hesitating. It was like a really mixed bag. So let's see here. I feel like we should start with some fitness ones, and then we can get into the personal ones. There's a lot of personal ones. Okay. This is one I think a lot of you guys you'll find this relevant. Is it possible to lose belly fat through body recomposition / maintenance? This is from Mags7786. So yes, it's absolutely possible to lose belly fat when you're going for a body recomp. Good timing, by the way, because next week I'm releasing a video on body comp. Next Thursday it'll come out, body recomposition. So in case you guys don't know, body recomposition is when you lose fat and you gain muscle at the same time. I recommend this for petite women over doing like an intense bulk or an intense cut or whatever. Just going for the body recomp is much more sustainable, much more enjoyable. You'll actually like your life while you're going through it. And you absolutely can lose belly fat. The way that you lose belly fat is simply by being in a slight caloric deficit. So when she asked if you can do it at maintenance, yes, you can. It's going to be slower progress because body recomp generally is slower. But if you're completely new to weight training and you don't have a lot of experience, you're more likely to see more weight loss in the beginning of your journey. It's just how it works. This thing called newbie gains. But if you really want to see more like visible changes quickly and you're not new to lifting, then trying for a slight calorie deficit. And if you have the calories to take away, some petite women, most petite women don't really, like you're going to see best results staying in your maintenance calories and not going like below 1200 calories where it starts to get really not fun. But generally speaking, a slight caloric deficit, like 100 calories under your maintenance, weight training, making sure your step count is up, doing all the things that should push good progress on losing belly fat. And there's absolutely no way you can target belly fat, right? Like you can't do crunches to reduce belly fat. You can't like do any specific type of training, like running is not better than weightlifting or whatever, none of that. You just have to be making sure that you're in a slight caloric deficit and you're also like, you know, eating healthy foods, you're eating high quality sources of protein, and you're building muscle. And building muscle is going to help you burn the belly fat too, because you will be increasing your metabolism, burning more calories at rest, instead of relying on all of your calorie burn coming from exercise, which is just impossible to do. You really can't out-train a bad diet, and you can't out-train your way to like getting abs. It's really got to come from nutrition. So nutrition is definitely going to help. And I do recommend, someone else just asked about eating at maintenance. Yeah, Ashley, eating at maintenance is really, really, it can drive a lot of progress for you guys. Like, you don't need to do steep calorie deficits or like in bulks or cuts or anything. If you just focus on improving what you're eating instead of decreasing it, that will go a long way in improving your nutrition. And you might end up that you just happen to be in a slight caloric deficit from eating better anyways, but you won't feel like you're on a diet. Like, when you increase your nutrition, like you eat more fiber, you eat higher protein, you're going to be fuller longer. You're not going to have these cravings anymore for like the processed sugars and stuff. You're just going to find you're eating better, and that usually is probably going to end up in being in a slight caloric deficit anyways. So focusing on the quality of your diet over the number of calories can often do more, like get you further than just focusing on the calories alone. Okay, let's see. Carrie said, how quickly should I introduce my caloric intake as I begin strength training? I've been under eating for a while. That's a great question. So if you're trying to increase your calories, Carrie, you're going to want to do it slowly to make sure you minimize like the possibility of gaining unwanted fat. So I'd recommend just adding like 50 extra calories per week, 100 extra calories per week, doing it really slowly and building, and also just always listening to your hunger cues, making sure you're not like overstuffing yourself. And as you increase the calories slowly, even 100 calories a week would be a lot. I would probably like increase by 100 and like monitor your progress. Okay. So like see how you're doing after 7 days. If your weight is stable, you can increase a little bit more. If it's increasing too dramatically, you're going to want to slow down the reverse diet. But reverse dieting should be a slow process. It's a minimum of 3 months, better if it's longer, to get you back up to a higher like threshold for your calories. Caitlin said, getting ready to go on vacation. That's awesome. And I always cook at home. I'm big nervous about eating out for almost 2 weeks. Tips, go-to kinds of meals. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I feel like this is really relevant, Caitlin, because as you guys might have seen in one of my videos, I recently stopped tracking my macros and calories. I went from like weighing foods and tracking like pretty much everything most days a week, not every day, but I knew what was going on at all times, to really not tracking anything anymore. I don't weigh anything and I don't use the apps. So I made a whole video about how this happened. Basically, I moved to Texas and like my lifestyle has changed a lot. And I say this to say, like, Caitlin, I was so freaking nervous that I was like, I just didn't trust myself, right? Because I've been very like into my nutrition for many years now. And I was like, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to like go cold turkey. Like, I need to do this differently. And it ended up being totally fine. I've actually like lost 3 pounds since moving to Texas. And I haven't been tracking. And what it comes down to is trusting yourself. That, Caitlin, you've been through Petite Power Premium, you've worked with us, like, you know your shit, girl. Like, you are on top of it. You've gone all the education. You know how to balance your meals, PFF. Sometimes it can be very scary to like go through a change in lifestyle or just change in like your routine or like what's available to you. So what I encourage you to do is bring some things that you know will make you feel good. So like when I came to Texas, I brought protein powder. I brought powdered peanut butter, which I love, because you can just mix it with water and it doesn't have all the oils that peanut butter has in it. So it's lower calorie, but you get the protein. Also, RX bars are great. You already know that hack. They're like really unprocessed. They're filling. They have good protein and like healthy fats. I always bring my matcha. It's not very nutrient dense though, 0 calories. But I think just packing some things, and then if you can cook or like, you know, keep your breakfast and lunch pretty simple and then enjoy your dinners on vacation, you're going to be in a good spot. Like if I keep it simple when I travel, like I'm going to have like protein oats for breakfast or like eggs and, you know, vegetables for breakfast. And then dinner, I have fun, you know, have your wine or whatever you want to drink and listen to your hunger cues. So if hunger is on a scale of 0 to 10 and 10 is stuffed, when you go on vacation and you're not sure like just try to be a 6 or a 7 after every meal. So you don't want to be like finishing a meal and like feeling really sick and full and stuffed. You want to be like a 6 or a 6.5, a 7, and that's going to help you realize, like help you eat the amount of calories that you should be eating naturally. And you do also have to slow down. Like when you go from tracking macros to then suddenly not, you realize like you don't know how much you need exactly because you didn't portion it out, which means you have to slow down and let your body tell you when you're full. So I would say pack some things, drink lots of water, slow down your eating and listen to your hunger cues, and you're going to be just fine. And eat protein in a protein forward way. You already know how to do that. Whatever's available to you, like on vacation or while you're traveling, like try to eat and prioritize the protein, the lean proteins and the vegetables, and that should get you feeling pretty great. Okay, let's see. Hi, Abby. Okay, Bria, she says, I know this will likely vary based on the person, but how long or what range of time before I see progress in belly fat? I hear it's typically the last area to lose fat. Yeah, so us as women, not to assume everyone here is a woman, but a lot of us are, we hold on to belly fat, you guys. It's just how we're made. We're always gonna have a higher percentage of body fat than men, and it's gonna be harder for us to get abs. So it doesn't mean it's impossible. What it comes down to is what I said earlier. So you have to be in a slight caloric deficit and you have to be consistent. I would say the minimum amount of time it takes to start losing belly fat, as long as you're consistent, is 4 weeks of consistency. If you're not seeing any change in 4 weeks, you probably need to change something in your plan. But if you really want to make significant loss in belly fat, it's going to take more than 4 weeks. You're going to have to like find something that works for you and then be very consistent at it for a minimum of 12 weeks. That's what I'd say. Until, if you really want that visible change in the mirror, we're looking at like a 12-week investment of your time. And that's why it has to be fun. It has to be something you can keep up with. It has to be something that's realistic and makes you feel good, or else you won't be able to stick to it for 12 weeks. And especially as petite women, that means likely like we cannot do these like extreme diets. We don't have enough calories to begin with already to like be dropping low. Wait, somebody's gonna call me out on this. I'm sorry. I eat my matcha foam with a spoon. Weirdest thing I do. It might be. Someone called it out in one of my vlogs, and now I feel very self-conscious whenever I have a matcha with a spoon, but you guys already know. So yeah, it's gonna take like 12 weeks, and you'll get there. You just have to be really consistent. Okay. Calissa said, I lost the last 10 pounds. Proud of you. And then some when I got an e-bike and I started a business. Wow, congrats. That's awesome. I didn't have time or interest to graze the kitchen and pantry. That's a huge thing. It's like keeping yourself busy. You know, like when we're bored, who finds themselves like just doing little drive-bys in the kitchen by like the pantry, the fridge. Like I find if I leave the house, which I don't that often, but if I go and work at an office or a co-working space, and I pack my meals, there's nothing to like graze on and there's no distractions. I end up eating much healthier when I get out of the house. Also, yeah, just staying busy, planning your day. I do try to plan my meals like to eat at a certain intervals throughout the day so that I'm not just like eating whenever I'm hungry, but I'm like, okay, I eat after I work out. I eat at, you know, lunchtime at a certain time, a snack, and then dinner. And I try to stick to that just to like not end up like ruining my appetite for dinner or whatever. So yeah, being busy is a good one if you can figure out how to schedule your day so that you're not allowing yourself these like mindless eating breaks. It helps a lot. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like Mary said the same thing. If I'm busy physically, I don't worry about eating. If I work from home, it's much harder. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna look at some questions that we had. There's hi Sky Blue Kitty. Welcome. I'm curious, well, I'm looking for a next question to answer since we have a bunch of us here. First of all, thank you guys for being here live. It makes this so much more fun. I'm curious to hear if you've been in the community for a while, if you watch a lot of my content. We are trying to figure out like what more you guys want to see of in terms of like, that was a really awkward way to say that. Like we're trying to think about how we can serve you even better. Like I'm trying to think about how I can make my content better, and I'm working really hard on building a plan for that right now. So I would love to hear from you, why you follow me, why you're in this community, and like what you like to see, like what out of all the videos you've watched before, like what sticks out in your mind as something that really changed the game for you, if anything. And what do you guys want to see more of? Like, what helps you? The content landscape is changing a lot right now. I know like a lot of people are on social media in general, but right now it's like exploding. Everybody's a creator now. And I just want to hear what you guys like and what you want to see and what has like attached you to this community so far. Like what, just give me something, give me a little something, something, help me with just kind of cueing me into what makes this page appealing to you or the community and what you would want to see more of. If anything, it would be super helpful to hear because you guys are the ones that are here with me live. So I have a feeling that, you guys do watch a number of the videos if you've made time out of your day to come here live. Oh, Michaela, that's so sweet. It says, April, you changed my life. I've always been focusing on cardio. Now I've been lifting weights for like 6 months and I'm so happy since then. Thank you. Sandra V said, this may be silly, but if I lift weights while sitting at my desk, would that benefit me? I have blocks of time where I have to sit and wait for calls. It doesn't sound silly. It won't hurt you. Yeah, you can just like you can stand. I mean, it's good. It's good to get your blood pumping. I'm never going to say exercise is bad. So unless you're over exercising or like doing tons of cardio, you guys already know. But if you're like if you're standing up between meetings and doing a few sets of an exercise, maybe walking around, like that's totally fine. It's not as great as, like dedicating a certain amount of time to work out and really get your heart rate up and then keep it elevated, but it's still good. You're still gonna be working your muscles and getting your blood pumping, which is really important. We run into trouble when we sit all day. So if you like get up and move around, do some little like bicep curls, whatever, that's not a bad thing to ever do. Ashley said mindset videos, what I eat in a days. I'll do more of those. That's definitely something people always love. Michaela said, is it better to have breakfast before or after the workout? So this would be based on how big your dinner was the night before. If you're, you're working out in the morning. So I would say that this is a majoring in the minors thing. That's what I say whenever we kind of get hung up on the things that we think are going to cause these like extremely big results when in reality like they don't matter that much according to the science, and also obviously like experience like coaching thousands of women at this point. Whether you do like meal timing as a topic itself is really important for athletes when you look at performance, but when it comes to weight loss, it's not a big factor. It's more about the overall calorie balance of the day. So I don't care if you eat breakfast after you work out or before. But if you ate a big dinner the night before you sleep, it's likely that your energy reserves are still like pretty high when you wake up in the morning, and you might not need to eat breakfast. I personally like don't love eating breakfast before I work out. I will come home and I eat after I train. I wasn't always like this though, so it's very individual. And most importantly, you want to make sure you have enough in your tank to perform the exercises safely and not get lightheaded and pass out. So you have to make sure you're like eating enough at night. And if you feel okay to work out in the morning without food, that's okay. You can eat after. If you need food before, that's fine. It's not affecting the bottom line here. It's just not. It's more about overall calorie balance. And that's a really good question. Let's see. Caitlin said, I stuck around because your content is down to earth and positive. Thank you, Caitlin. The program and free info works and inspires. Like, I've moved on to powerlifting, 350 pound squat, baby. Yeah, girl. I've lost nearly 20 pounds. Gained confidence in the kitchen. My chef boyfriend is even impressed. The community is phenomenal. Oh, I love that. All right. That's really great to hear. I'm so glad. And obviously I love when I recognize you guys in the audience, because I know you guys, and it's so much funner to feel connected and have that connection, like no matter like on a YouTube stream or in one of our Facebook groups or whatever. Okay. So some more questions here, and thank you guys. I'm going to read your feedback later so I don't waste your time. I appreciate all of that and just knowing what keeps you around, what attracts you to the page and the community. Okay, so I had some questions that like, let's see, I had ones about injury prevention, a lot of questions about Texas. How can you optimize muscle gain and fat loss simultaneously? That's an interesting one. Basically, nutrition. So when you are looking to gain muscle but lose fat at the same time, a body recomp, it's going to come down to eating a higher protein diet and moderate carbs and moderate fats. So making sure your fats, like petite women, we struggle with this a lot. I was just looking at a check-in from a client earlier today, and it's just very typical for us petite women to way overeat in the fat category because fats are in everything. They're delicious and they add up really fast and easily. So we end up eating like over 100 grams of fat per day, and that's just too high, generally speaking, for most women 5'4" and shorter. You don't need over 100 grams of fat per day. Asterisk, you might, depending on some things, but it's just a lot of fat. So I think getting your fat intake down, dietary fat, and then you still eat, still eat whole sources of fat like avocado, and you can have, full fat yogurt and stuff. It's just about the portions of that fat, right? And secondarily, getting that protein up. That's really important for when you're trying to build muscle, building muscle and losing fat at the same time. The diet is what it's all about there, because if you're eating a diet that's not optimized for fat loss and muscle gain, you could be doing all the right things, but just not seeing the results. So it really comes down to like what you're feeding yourself to help support those goals. And I recommend you guys take a food journal, see what you're eating, like look up your meals, see if you have protein, 30 grams of protein every meal. That's going to go a really long way in making sure that you're eating in an optimized way for your goals. Okay. You guys have lots of good feedback today. A salted peanut, interesting handle, also said they want to talk about injury prevention. So the biggest thing I can say about injury prevention, we did go to a question. Let me look at specifically what it said. How to prevent injury. Since I started lifting weights, I keep having nagging issues like tendon and ligament pain. So that's from Victoria Lang. So actually, I believe I read a study from like 10 years ago that women are more susceptible to tendon injuries around the time of our periods. So just being super careful if you're lifting really heavy or pushing on your intensity around the time of your period. That can be something to think about in terms of your cycle. But most importantly, when it comes to injury prevention, it's about warming up properly. You need to prime your muscles to be able to snap back. So if you're doing like explosive things or you're lifting weights, your muscles are like rubber bands, okay? If you go into a workout and you decide you're gonna do static stretching as your warm up, what happens is you're pulling your rubber bands, your muscles apart, and they are becoming more elastic, they're becoming longer, and then they're not gonna have as much snapback potential. That can cause an injury. So you don't wanna do static stretching before your workouts. You wanna leave that for after your workouts during the cool down. Instead, you wanna do dynamic warm-ups. These are exercises that bring you through a range of motion. You're not holding any stretches, so that will be like, walking, quad stretch, or like hamstring scoops, these types of things where your body is going through a range of motion and you're slowly increasing the elasticity of the muscle fibers, but you're allowing them to keep their snapback properties where you're not stretching them out prematurely. This type of warm-up is going to be super key for preventing injury. Having the right shoes and having the right form is the next thing that's going to come into play so that you don't twist your ankle or, you're not repeating an exercise with improper form to the point of like the repetition leading to an injury. I see this most commonly happen with overhead press and incorrect form there. So learning about scapular control, learning about your shoulder joints. Just a quick tip, quick win for you guys here. If you guys press all the way out here, you're pressing overhead like that. I don't want you to do that. I want you to bring your elbows in a little bit closer and press from here. It's just safer for the shoulder joint. So just knowing these types of things can be really, really important for preventing injury. And then also just listening to yourself. If you go from 0 to 100, what do you think is going to happen? You know what I'm saying? You're probably going to get injured. So make sure when you, like if you have stopped working out, you get back from vacation, when you like start a new routine, ease into it. Like don't like destroy yourself on that first day back, okay? Just like ease into it. Take it slow and easy. Remember, like this is about longevity. This is about aging well and feeling good, having functional health and fitness, and it's not about a sprint. So you're not going to get results in one day, so you might as well just take it slow anyways. Most of the times that when people get injury, it's like failing to warm up, going too intense too soon, or not paying attention, like say you're really tired after a long day and you're just not really focused on your form or like your mind muscle connection. So if you keep those 3 things in mind, it should help a whole lot in preventing unwanted, well, all injuries unwanted, right? Okay, we have time for like one more question. Maybe 2. Esther said, I had a boyfriend that nitpicked everything I ate. That is horrible. I hope he's gone. And never understood that losing weight was harder for shorter women. He believed my max should have been 800 calories. Obviously, he became my ex. Good. I mean, good for you. I know that must have been hard, but you guys know 800 calories is like what a child eats, and we are not children, right? We are grown-ass women, and you guys need to fuel yourselves. I know so many of you already have learned that lesson and learned that you absolutely don't have to eat that few calories in order to lose weight. And in case this is a new concept to you, if you're like new to the community or you haven't heard me talk about this or taught on this, I have a free training tonight at 5 p.m. Central Time. So weird saying Central Time to you guys because I've said Eastern for like my whole life. But anyways, I have a free training. It's a masterclass that I teach. It's a hit. It's a hit. I'm not even gonna, it's a banger, you guys. You should come. If you have never come, I give you a turnkey plan for your fitness and nutrition as a petite. You learn the exact science behind why it's harder to lose weight as a shorter woman, and it's free. So you can come tonight. If you go to, I'll just put the link here. It's, you can just RSVP. And what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, over 34,000. I was looking at the numbers this morning. 34 or 35,000 short women have gone to this masterclass over the last 3 years. It's just been great. So if you want to RSVP, I'm only doing one more of these this month, and it's happening tonight. And if you can't make it, just RSVP and I'll send you a recording. But it's going to give you a lot of info that I can't go into on like a short Q&A. I think you'll really enjoy. Let's see. We can do one more. Ashley said, I just have to say your mission is so important. Every single day, there are more and more short girls that need you. Don't ever stop. Thank you, Ashley. That really means a lot. I know I don't talk that much about the business side of things or just the creator side of things, which is how I see myself, right? Just creating content for you. But it can get really grueling, and that's something I've not opened up to a lot because it just doesn't seem relevant to you guys. But messages like that really do help me stay focused and remember my mission. I wake up every day and I think about you guys. I think about us short women who are restricting our calories and under eating and feeling like shit about our bodies. And I don't love that. I don't want to live in a world like that. I want everyone to feel so confident in their bodies. I want you guys to see yourself as strong and powerful. And if I can change, like, and I know we've been in this for a few years already, but if I can just change it a little bit for you guys, that means a lot. And so to hear that means so much. So thank you for saying that, Ashley. And thank you to everyone here who's involved in this mission and this community. It's only going to continue to grow. I'm really serious about this, as you guys know. And we already have a large community. We're working on exciting things to keep connecting together on this mission. So thank you. And I guess that's actually kind of a nice emotional moment to end on. I wanted to let you guys know also, in case any of you have been looking for help or support in a way that's more one-on-one, that is more than just the content I put out, we have our September 5th session of Petite Power Premium open right now. The doors are open. We're accepting new clients. Basically, the way we run this program, you get a dietitian, an accountability coach, and a personal trainer assigned to you. And you have an online course and an app that you go through over 12 weeks. It's freaking incredible. It's like proven at this point. We've been doing it for many years, and it will help you lose the weight. It will help you tone up, and it will tailor everything to you as a petite. So it's tailored to your body. You can sign up at petitepower.com. This is where you'll see like the enrollment for premium, and we have orientation this weekend. And if you're not sure if it's for you or you want to learn more, you just want to chat, we did just release a new, basically you can book a call. It's with me or one of our experts, and we have structured this call so that it's an opportunity for you to learn the immediate next steps in your health journey. So you can walk away from the call, whether you join or not, with just more help, just like, okay, you talk to someone, you feel more confident. And where should I put that link for you guys? Let me see. I'll put that link right here for you if you want to book a call. We call it our Petite Body Breakthrough Session because it's all about your body. And if you'd rather just go ahead and jump into our Petite Power Premium session, I'll put the link here too so you guys have it. Share it with your friends. I would love that. We kick off on September 5th. And like I said, the doors are only open for a few more days. And if anybody wants any to go over anything, definitely book a call with me. All right, you guys, thank you so much for coming to this live. It meant a lot to just chat with you for 30 minutes. It brightens my day. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and look forward to a upload next week all about body recompositions and who a body recomp is best for within the short girl category. All right, you guys, that's it. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye, Esther. Bye, everybody.